Ever get that feeling? You look around and think, all right, this place needs some love, but then it's like, whoa, where do I even start? Like it's this massive mountain.
Yeah, totally get that. It can be super overwhelming, especially when you're eager to jump in and learn, but don't want to drown in information overload.
Exactly.
Ugh.
And that's where we come in. Today's deep dive is tailored for you, the listener, who wants to become a home improvement whiz and fast without all the fluff.
We've done the heavy lifting,
Yeah.
sifted through tons of resources, YouTube channels, blog posts, the works,
Oh, yeah. We've got Jessica Giffen's awesome budget-friendly DIYs.
and XO, Messina, the renovation guru for beginners, plus tool experts like Pro Tool Reviews.
Crafted and created, too.
Right, them as well. And we can't forget Alexander Chappell. He's got some solid advice on tools. Oh, and there's this really insightful blog post from Blog's Quiz Shop that we've pulled from.
It's like we've distilled everything down, all the essential tools, the DIY tips that actually make a difference.
Think of it as your home renovation cheat sheet.
Exactly. So today, our mission is to give you a rock-solid understanding of the must-have tools for any project, big or small.
And those clever DIY techniques that can really transform your space.
We'll be covering the quick, budget-friendly makeovers that can instantly refresh a room.
And then diving into some more involved renovation strategies.
All right, let's get started. First up, how to create a big impact without breaking the bank.
Yeah, let's jump into those budget-friendly DIY updates first. Jessica Giffen's YouTube channel is a goldmine for this. What's so cool about her approach is that she proves you don't need to spend a fortune to make a big visual difference.
Yeah.
Like take her take on adding texture.
Oh yeah, her shiplap wall. Genius. Using 1/4-inch plywood, she created that classic shiplap look. And get this, she estimated the whole thing cost about $50, including the paint.
$50. That's amazing.
I know, right? They basically ripped the plywood into strips, spaced them out on the wall, and used a nail gun to secure them. Boom, instant texture. And it completely elevates the whole look of the room.
Shiplap's a really smart choice for DIYers, too. It doesn't require you to be a master carpenter, and plywood's a relatively inexpensive material. You get a lot of visual bang for your buck.
And she doesn't stop there. She's got this awesome tutorial on creating a faux brick wall using joint compound. Now, she's upfront about it being a bit time-consuming. Patience is key here.
Right, it's not a quick fix.
But the result is seriously impressive. It looks so real, and it's way cheaper than using actual bricks. And if you want a faster, easier texture fix, she recommends textured beadboard wallpaper. It's peel and stick, so super easy to apply.
So you've got options, depending on how much time you have and what kind of look you're going for.
Exactly. And of course, there's paint, the DIYer's best friend. Jessica gave her front door a makeover with a bold sage green. She even added that textured beadboard wallpaper underneath for a bit of extra oomph.
Nice touch.
Yeah, it looks really cool. She also painted her interior doors a soft neutral color. Creates a really calm, inviting vibe. And she's got this really clever trick for updating hardware without buying new stuff. She just paints it black.
Ah, clever.
Yeah, it's a temporary fix. She mentioned it might start to chip in high traffic areas after a while. I think hers lasted about 6 months before she noticed some wear and tear. But still, it's a great way to get that modern look without spending a ton.
It's a great example of a phased approach to home improvement. You can address the immediate need for an update without breaking the bank, knowing you might replace it down the line.
Smart. Now, when it comes to light and windows, Jessica really focuses on making the most of natural light. To brighten up the space, make it feel more open.
Yeah, natural light is so important.
And for window coverings, she uses these really affordable drop cloths she found on Amazon. Super simple, just clips them under rings, no sewing needed.
No sewing. That's my kind of project.
Plus, they're easy to wash. She even provides a link for seamless drop cloths if you want a cleaner look.
That's a great alternative to those expensive frilly curtains you often see.
Totally.
Yeah.
Now, in the kitchen, she stuck with the painted door and hardware theme, gave her pantry a fresh, clean look. But she took her island a step further. She added that same textured beadboard wallpaper to the sides.
Nice.
And then she added these really cool peg rails, for hanging stuff. She mentioned finding some custom ones on Etsy, but you can also find them at craft stores or even DIY them if you're handy.
That's a great way to add both character and functionality to a space.
Totally. And speaking of functionality, she's all about maximizing it. She actually replaced all the light fixtures on her first floor with matching black ones.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it creates a really cohesive look throughout the whole space.
Creates a visual flow, ties everything together.
Exactly. Then there are those statement pieces, the ones that really elevate a room.
Right.
She actually took on the DIY installation of a vent hood in her kitchen. She said it's doable if you're comfortable with that kind of project, but it's definitely a step up from just painting.
Yeah, that's a more advanced DIY for sure.
And then a really simple update with a big impact. She replaced her cabinet pulls with these really stylish farmhouse style ones she found on Amazon. Super inexpensive.
It's amazing what a difference new hardware can make.
Right. It instantly made her cabinets look way more high end. Now let's talk about shelving. She had some awesome DIY solutions.
Oh, yeah. I love her shelving ideas.
For open shelving, she used raw wood logs she got from a hardware store
Rustic chic.
and just simple, inexpensive brackets that she spray painted. A key tip she emphasized is to always attach shelves to wall studs if you're planning to put anything heavy on them for safety reasons.
So that's fine.
But her pièce de résistance is this amazing faux fireplace accent wall.
I saw that. It looks so real.
I know. She used shiplap and shelves and even added faux brick inside for that extra touch of realism. She said the tutorial for that one is one of her most popular videos.
No surprise there.
And finally, in terms of budget-friendly decor, Jessica loves incorporating vintage finds.
Oh, yeah, like that beautiful old hutch she has.
Exactly. She says it adds so much character and warmth, that unique touch you don't get with brand new furniture.
It's all about creating that curated, lived-in feel.
Absolutely. She also gave her bedroom a budget-friendly refresh, painted her existing electric fireplace to give it a new lease on life. Then she used this really clever trick with poster board and wood rounds attached with Velcro to give the glass a farmhouse-style makeover.
Oh, wow. That's thinking outside the box.
And then she added brick effect wallpaper with molding on top to make it look even more realistic. Plus, more of those awesome drop cloth curtains.
It's amazing how much you can achieve with a little bit of creativity and effort.
Oh, and we can't forget her DIY farmhouse door. She and her father-in-law built it for about $100.
$100? Seriously?
Yep. They used a hardware kit from Amazon and lumber from a local hardware store. They went for that rustic look, exposed nails and all. She said she got quotes for a similar door that ranged from $400 to $500.
That's a huge saving.
Right. It really shows what you can do if you're willing to roll up your sleeves.
Totally.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground with those budget-friendly updates. Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the bigger picture, the strategic approach to tackling a larger home renovation. We're going to tap into the wisdom of XO, Massena, for this one. She's got a ton of experience to share.
Right.
And the first thing that really jumps out is her emphasis on planning.
Oh, yeah, she's a big believer in that. Planning is everything.
It's the foundation of a successful renovation. Her advice is to start with a thorough inspection.
Like a home checkup.
Exactly. Take a close look at the roof, the foundation, the plumbing, the electrical systems. You want to know what you're working with. Then it's all about visualizing the end goal. How do you want the space to flow? What's the ideal layout? What kind of feeling are you trying to create? And then, crucially, she says to actually make a plan.
Right. Don't just wing it.
Even if it's not perfect at first, even if it changes as you go, having something down on paper is way better than just diving in blindly.
Makes total sense.
She walked through her own process for designing a new floor plan, and I found it super helpful. First, she meticulously measures each room, every single wall, window, door. She jots it all down on scrap paper. Then she transfers those measurements to gridded graph paper. Each square on the graph paper represents 1 square foot.
Ah, smart.
And at this stage, she ignores the thickness of the walls. It just focuses on the basic footprint of each room.
That gives you a really clear visual representation of the existing space.
Exactly. And then you can start playing around with potential changes. Move walls around, see how different configurations would work.
It's like a puzzle.
Totally. She also recommends making a must-have list for the renovated house. For her project, this included things like an open concept living area, a certain number of bedrooms and bathrooms, a dedicated laundry room, a primary suite, and a back porch.
So really defining the non-negotiables.
Exactly. Having that list helps you stay focused as you go through the planning process. And if you want to do really detailed, she mentioned that there are resources available for creating CAD drawings. Those are the computer-aided design programs that architects and engineers use.
Oh, right. So you can really take your floor plan to the next level.
Yep. Now, inspiration is another crucial part of the process. Massena looks for both the overall vibe she wants to create and specific design details that she loves. She uses Pinterest and Instagram for this, which is a great tip.
Oh, yeah. Those are great platforms for visual inspiration.
She stresses the importance of saving those ideas and starting to define your own personal style.
Do you have a sense of your personal style when it comes to home decor?
I'm still figuring that out.
Same here. But I think it's a journey. It evolves over time.
Totally. Masena described her own style as Nordic vintage contemporary with a lived-in feeling.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
I know, right? But you get the idea. And she also takes into account the original style of her house, which is folk Victorian, to make sure her renovations complement the existing architecture.
That's a great point.
Her key advice is to find one core inspirational image that really speaks to you, like one photo that captures the essence of what you want to achieve, and then really analyze it. What do you love about it? What doesn't quite fit?
That's a great way to refine your vision.
Totally.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about something that's super important but often overlooked:
What's that?
permits and utilities. Masena actually shared a funny story about how she forgot to arrange for trash pickup after demolition. She ended up with a mountain of debris in her driveway.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a good reminder to think about all those little details. But beyond the trash, she stresses the importance of contacting all the relevant utility companies before you start any work.
Right, so you don't end up with any surprises.
Exactly. The electrical company, water, gas, home insurance, your telephone and internet provider, you want to make sure everything's in order. And most importantly, she says to check the permit requirements with your local developmental department before you start any demolition or building. Skipping that step can lead to major headaches down the line.
It's like laying the groundwork for a smooth renovation process.
Absolutely. Okay, now here's the big question for any DIYer.
Hit me with it.
When do you tackle it yourself? And when do you call in the pros?
That's the age-old question, isn't it?
Right. Masena, being a dedicated DIYer, generally leans towards doing things herself, but with an important caveat.
Okay, I'm listening.
She only tackles projects that she feels confident she can do correctly and safely.
Right, you got to be realistic about your skills.
Exactly. She's very upfront about her limitations. She says she wouldn't touch electrical work, plumbing, building structural additions, foundation work, major framing changes, or complex fireplace builds.
Those are definitely best left to the experts.
Right. But she did take on the framing for part of her project, seeing it as a chance to learn something new.
It's all about finding that balance, pushing your boundaries, but also knowing when to step back.
And if you do decide to hire contractors, clear communication is absolutely key. Masena suggests creating a detailed document that includes photos and really specific descriptions of what you want.
Leave no room for misinterpretation.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to over-communicate throughout the process. Check in regularly and speak up if something doesn't seem right.
It's your home, your investment. You have a right to be involved.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk tools.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Masena shared her go-to tools, as well as the essential safety gear. And safety really should always come first.
Absolutely.
She recommends good quality masks, ideally with interchangeable filters for different types of dust. You want proper protection. Safety goggles, of course. Durable work gloves. A hard hat if the project calls for it.
Makes sense.
Thick-soled work boots. You don't want a nail going through your foot.
Mm-hmm.
And earplugs for noise reduction.
Forget about those ears.
Right. For demolition, she's got this, what she calls our micro-family of crowbars.
A microfamily.
I know, right? There's a large one, a smaller one, and a tiny one for delicate trim work. And then a good old-fashioned hammer, of course.
The classics.
Now, budgeting for a renovation can be a challenge. It can feel like trying to pin down a moving target.
Yeah, costs can fluctuate.
Masena admits it's tricky, and everyone has their own comfort level when it comes to spending.
Right.
Her approach involves setting a loose timeline and having a general idea of the per square foot cost. She mentioned around $100 per square foot as a rough guide.
It's a good starting point.
But she aims to keep costs lower for projects that involve working within the existing structure rather than building additions.
Makes sense.
And she's got some great tips for saving money. Do as much of the labor yourself as you can, of course. Be mindful of load-bearing walls.
Right. You don't want to accidentally knock down a wall that's holding up your house.
Exactly. Keep new bathroom and laundry room locations close to existing plumbing lines to minimize costs. Salvage original materials whenever possible. Shop secondhand, restore instead of replace, and even consider building some elements yourself.
Those are all smart strategies.
When it comes to dealing with materials you're removing, Masena has this save everything philosophy.
I love that.
She's all about preserving the character of her old home. Plus, it's a great way to reduce waste and save money.
It's environmentally friendly and budget friendly.
Exactly. She showed her workshop filled with salvaged wood, old doors, windows, siding. She even saved an old toilet.
You never know when you might need a spare toilet.
Right. The things she did end up throwing away were mostly things like really gross carpets and appliances that were beyond repair.
Fair enough.
She did point out that this save everything approach requires both time and a good system for organizing all that salvage stuff.
Makes sense. It's a commitment.
Finally, Miss Senna gave this really honest take on the reality of renovating.
Oh, yeah. She keeps it real.
She acknowledged the sheer amount of work involved, the potential for feeling overwhelmed. She emphasized the importance of pacing yourself, taking it one day at a time, and remembering to rest.
Self-care is crucial.
Absolutely. And she reminded us that market conditions, like material costs and supply chain issues, can also impact your project.
Yeah, those are factors you can't always control.
All right, are you ready to talk tools?
Let's do it.
We've gone through all our sources, Jessica Giffen's projects, Massena's recommendations, the insights from Pro Tool reviews, crafted and created Alexander Chappell, and that comprehensive list from Blog's Quiz Shop. And what's fascinating is how much overlap there is.
Yeah, there's definitely a core set of tools that comes up again and again.
Exactly. Starting with the power tools. The cordless drill is at the top of everyone's list. It's so versatile.
Oh yeah, you can use it for everything.
Drilling pilot holes, driving screws. Pro Tool reviews actually highlighted the DeWalt 20V Max as a really good option.
I've heard good things about DeWalt.
Yeah, they're known for their quality. And the battery life on that model is supposed to be excellent.
That's crucial. You don't want to be constantly stopping to recharge.
Then there's the impact driver, which is specifically designed for fastening screws and driving lags. It's kind of like a drill, but way more powerful.
Right, for those tougher jobs.
And for making straight cuts in wood, you'll need a circular saw. A cordless one is really handy, especially for rough work.
Gives you more flexibility.
And for demolition and making rough cuts through various materials, there's the reciprocating saw, sometimes called a sawzall.
Ah, the Sawzall. A demolition must-have.
And if you need to cut curves or intricate shapes, the jigsaw is your friend.
Okay, so those are the power tools. What about hand tools?
Well, you can't go wrong with a classic claw hammer.
Good for driving and pulling nails.
And handy for demolition, too. A 16-ounce hammer is a good all-around size. Then there's the screwdriver set, Phillips and flathead, of course.
The essentials.
And sets with ratcheting handles and magnetic tips can make your life so much easier.
Oh yeah, those little features make a big difference.
Don't underestimate the humble utility knife either. The retractable kind with replaceable blades is the safest and most versatile. And the tape measure, of course.
Can't live without a tape measure.
A 25-foot retractable one with a locking mechanism and clear markings is ideal. Make sure it has fractions on it, too.
Good point.
You'll also need a level, either a spirit level or a torpedo level. Magnetic ones can be super handy for attaching to metal surfaces. An adjustable wrench, also known as a crescent wrench, is a must-have for dealing with nuts and bolts. And then pliers. You'll want a variety of those.
Oh yeah, different pliers for different jobs.
Hair cutters, needle nose pliers for those tight spaces, locking pliers, slip joint pliers.
It's like a whole toolkit within a toolkit.
I know, right? And Allen wrenches. A compact folding set is really convenient. And finally, a putty knife for applying spackle, caulk, and for scraping.
All right, so we've covered the basics. What about those specialty tools?
Well, a paint sprayer can be a real game changer.
Oh yeah, especially for large surfaces.
It gives you such a smooth, even finish. And a brad nailer or finish nailer is great for attaching trim without splitting the wood.
Makes for a really professional looking finish.
Alexander Chappell highly recommends a cross-line laser level. He admitted it's a more expensive tool, but he says it's worth it, especially for large-scale projects.
Like flooring or tiling?
Exactly. And for heavy-duty demolition, you can't go wrong with a sledgehammer.
That's a satisfying tool to use.
A laser measuring tool is really handy for getting precise measurements in larger or hard-to-reach spaces.
Makes it so much easier.
And the oscillating multi-tool. That thing is so versatile.
What can it do?
Narrow cuts, tight corners, cutting out electrical outlets, and then there's the miter saw, which is essential for making those precise square and angled cuts.
Really important for framing and flooring.
Okay, so those are the main tools, but there are a few other things worth mentioning.
All right, let's hear it.
For layout and measurement, A good quality square is essential for making sure your angles are right. And a sharp utility knife with plenty of replaceable blades.
Makes sense.
It's good to have both a 16-foot tape measure for smaller jobs and a 25-foot one for bigger tasks.
Double the tape measure, double the fun.
And don't underestimate the importance of cleaning. A shop vac or an industrial vacuum is a must-have for keeping your workspace clean and safe.
Yeah, you don't want to be breathing in all that dust.
Alexander Chappell even suggested using a bucket with a cyclone dust separator attached to your vacuum. It helps extend the life of your vacuum bags when you're dealing with a lot of fine dust.
Oh, that's a good tip.
And I can't stress enough how important safety gear is. Safety glasses, both clear and tinted, and always impact rated.
Protection first.
A variety of work gloves. Ear protection, either earplugs or earmuffs.
Right, because power tools can get loud.
And a well-stocked first aid kit?
Hopefully you won't need it, but better to be prepared.
Exactly. And good work lights or a headlamp for those dimly lit areas.
Very important.
Organization is another key to a successful renovation. Keep those tools organized. Good toolboxes, organizer cases. Alexander Chappell actually showed off some cool homemade 3D printed organizers he uses.
Oh, wow.
And a rolling tool cart can be super helpful too.
It's all about making your life easier.
Right. And finally, don't skimp on extension cords.
Oh, yeah. Those are essential.
50-foot cords in a 12-gauge thickness are a good bet.
So you can reach those far corners.
The blog post from Blog's Quiz Shop also offered some additional DIY wisdom.
Okay, what do they have to say?
They stress the importance of planning, thinking through your design, the scope of the project, your budget, and they recommend adding a cushion to your budget for unexpected expenses.
Always a good idea.
They also mention home renovation apps. There's some great ones out there for design inspiration and project management.
Oh, cool. Technology can be a big help.
And they highlighted a few specific tools that can be really useful. An oscillating multi-tool, which we've already talked about, a good caulking gun for sealing gaps, a stud finder for hanging things securely,
Right. You don't want things falling off the wall.
and a voltage tester for electrical safety.
Definitely an essential for electrical work.
And their final tip was to stock up on common hardware, like different sizes of Allen bolts and nuts. That way you don't have to keep running to the hardware store.
Smart. Saves time and frustration.
And last but not least, Alexander Chappell gave this great tip about renting tools.
Oh, yeah. Renting can save you a lot of money.
If you need a tool that's really expensive or specialized and you're only going to use it once or very rarely, consider renting it instead of buying it.
Like a tile cutter or a concrete mixer.
Exactly. So there you have it. A comprehensive deep dive into the world of DIY home renovation. We've learned from the best. Jessica Giffen showed us how to make those budget-friendly updates that can truly transform a space.
She's a master of affordable style.
XO, Messina emphasized the importance of planning and gave us a glimpse into her own renovation journey. And we've explored the essential tools, both power and hand, that every DIYer needs in their arsenal.
Plus, we've stressed the importance of safety. Can't forget that.
We hope you feel empowered to tackle your own projects now, big or small.
And remember, it's a journey.
It doesn't have to be perfect, and you can always learn as you go.
So what project are you feeling inspired to take on?
And what tool will you reach for first? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for diving deep with us.